Student, in this video we will solve question answers of exercise of chapter number 1, nutrition in plants. So let's begin the video with question number 1. Why do organisms take food? All organisms require food to survive. It gives them energy to perform various activities. All activities such as playing, running, walking, studying, etc. require energy. The various components present in our food such as carbohydrates, proteins, fats, vitamins and minerals provide energy to our body. These are also important for growth and development of the body. Now moving on to next question number 2, that is differentiate between parasite and septodrop. So for this you have to make this table. First of all, you will write about parasite. The organisms that grows on the body of another organisms and derives nutrients from it is known as a parasite. Examples of parasites are cuscuta and orchids. Second one, septodrop. The organism that obtains nutrients from the dead or decaying organic matter is called septodrop. Examples of septodrops are fungi and some bacteria. Now moving on to question number 3. How would you test the presence of starch in leaves? So the experiment to test the presence of starch in leaves, first of all we have to take 2 healthy green potted plants of the same type. Keep one potted plant in a dark room for 1 or 2 days in order to remove all the starch from the leaves. Keep the other plant in sunlight. Now take one leaf from each potted plant and put a few drops of iodine solution on them. Then note down the observation. So we will observe that no blue-black color will be observed on the leaves of the plant kept in the dark room. This indicates the absence of starch. Blue-black color will be observed on the leaves of the plant kept in sunlight. This indicates the presence of starch. Moving on to question number 4, give a brief description of the process of synthesis of food in green plants. So, photosynthesis is defined as the process in which chlorophyll containing plant cells synthesize food in the form of carbohydrates using carbon dioxide and water in the presence of solar energy. Now in this diagram you will see carbon dioxide is absorbed by plants and oxygen is relieved from plants. In this process carbohydrate is formed while water is absorbed by the soil. Now sources of raw materials required for photosynthesis. Children, as we have studied earlier in the chapter, that the first raw material is water. Water is taken from the roots of the plants and transported to the leaves. Second raw material is carbon dioxide from the air enters the leaves through the tiny pores called stomata and diffuses to the cells containing chlorophyll. Third raw material is solar energy is used to break water into hydrogen and oxygen. This hydrogen is combined with carbon dioxide to form food for the plants, which is ultimately used by the animals as well. Thus, photosynthesis can be represented by the following equation. Carbon dioxide plus water in the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll gives carbohydrates. Moving on to question number 5, that is show with the help of a sketch that the plants are the ultimate source of food. So under this question you have to make this diagram where light energy is absorbed by the plants from the sun and carbon dioxide is also absorbed by oxygen is released, and here chlorophyll is present in the leaves and glucose is formed. So this is the diagram of photosynthesis. Moving on to question number 6, that is fill in the blanks. So the first one is green plants are called dash since they synthesize their own food. Green plants make their food themselves. So they are generally autotrophs. So the answer will be autotrophs. The food synthesized by plant is stored in the form of starch. C. The photosynthesis. In photosynthesis, solar energy is absorbed by the pigment present in the leaves of the plant is called chlorophyll. So the answer will be chlorophyll. During photosynthesis, plants take in which gas? It takes in carbon dioxide and release oxygen gas. Moving on to question number 7. Name the following. First one, a parasitic plant with yellow, slender and branched stem. So the answer is what? Cuscuta. Second one is a plant that is partially autotrophic. The plant that is partially autotrophic is pitcher plant. Third one, the pores through which leaves exchange gases. So the name of the pore is what? Stomata. Now moving on to question number 8. Tick the correct answer. First one is Cuscuta is an example of, first option is autotroph, second is parasite, third is septodrop and fourth is host. So the answer of this question is what? Parasite. Moving on to B part, the plant which traps and feeds on insect is, first one is Cuscuta, second China rose, third pitcher plant, fourth one is rose. So the answer of this question is pitcher plant. Moving on to question number 9, that is match the following. To match the given in column first with those in column second. First of all, chlorophyll. Chlorophyll is present in leaf. Second one is nitrogen. Nitrogen is what? Bacteria. Now amar bale. Amar bale is what? Parasite. Now next one is animals. Animals generally they don't make their food by themselves, so they are what? Heterotroph. Fifth one is insect. Insect is what here? Pitcher plant. Moving on to question number 10, that is mark T if the statement is true and F if it is false. First one is carbon dioxide is released during photosynthesis. So the answer is false. Which gas is released? Oxygen is released during photosynthesis while carbon dioxide is absorbed. Second one is plant which synthesize their food are called septodrop. And the answer is false. The plant which synthesize their food are called what? Autotrophs, not septodrops. Third one, the product of photosynthesis is not a protein. So the answer is what? True. Fourth one, solar energy is converted into chemical energy during photosynthesis. So the answer is true. Moving on to question number 11, choose the correct option from the following. Which part of the plant takes in carbon dioxide from the air of photosynthesis? First one is root hair, second stomata, third leaf veins, fourth petals. So the answer is second one, that is stomata. Now moving on to question number 12, choose the correct option from the following. Plants take carbon dioxide from the atmosphere mainly through their, first option is roots, second is stem, third is flowers and fourth one is leaves. So the answer of this question is leaves. So children, this was all about your chapter number 1, nutrition in plants. So we have completed the chapter and the NCERT questions also. So you have to do these answers of these questions and answers in your copy. So this was all about this chapter. So children, here are few define the terms. So let's start with first define the term, that is nutrients. Here nutrients, the components of food which are necessary for our body are called nutrients. Children, the components which you take from the food and they are very important for your body, they are called what? Nutrients. Now moving on to second one, that is nutrition. Nutrition, it is what? It is the mode of taking food by an organism and its utilization by the body is called nutrition. Children, without nutrition you will not be able to do any work. Now moving to third one, that is autotrophs. The organisms which make their own food from the simple substances present in the environment are called autotrophs. Children, auto means making by own, means they are not dependent on others. They are making their food with themselves. For example, plants. Now moving on to fourth one, that is heterotroph. Children's, heterotrophs is opposite of autotrophs. Heterotrophs means the organisms which cannot make their food and depend on others for their food are called heterotrophs. So children's, example is animals, human beings, they all are dependent on others for their food. That's why they are what? Heterotrophs. Now next one, that is stomata. The small pores which are generally present on the undersurface of the leaves are called stomata. Children, if you will observe the leaves, you will find under the microscope, you will find out some small pores. So that are called what? Stomata. Now moving on to next one, children, as I told you, plants make their own food by themselves. That's why we call them what? Autotrophs. So the process by which green plants make their food is called photosynthesis. Children, they make their own food by themselves with the help of some materials like light, etc. So the process is what we call photosynthesis. So this was all about you define the terms. So children, you have to note down these define the terms and question answers that we have done in this video in your notebook, and you have to learn also. Got it? So till then, take care.